G'day guys, this is part 9 of the Xray XB2 Dirt Edition build series. In part 9 we are going to be focusing on attaching the shocks, attaching a shock. I've gone ahead and done 3 of the 4 shocks. A little bit of time involved, not a lot, but you know, it's the procedure to attach them is with a slight difference in the front shocks. The procedure is the exact same, so there's no point in doing all 4. So what we will need for this is obviously we will need our shock absorber. So this is the rear shock. We will need a 3mm nylock nut. We will need the shock mount for the shock tower, if I can find it. There it is. For the tools we will need is a 7mm driver, and we will also need our 2mm driver that will come shortly. Now with the carpet edition, it has carbon fiber shock towers, and I would assume that like any of the X-Ray's carbon fiber shock towers, you have this part go through the shock tower, and then you have a 3mm nylock nut hold it on the other end. Whereas with the Dirt Edition here, we have a molded composite shock tower, and you just screw it in. So that's what we're going to do. Now there are 3 holes on the shock tower here. Well, you probably can't see it. 3 holes. We are using the middle hole. So this is for kit setup. So just start threading it in. To be honest, I can't say I'm really a fan of this method. I would like it to have been a few millimeters longer, so then you can add a nylock nut on the end. But obviously they've done lots of testing, so it must work. Okay, so that's on. Now the next part here is to get our shock, and I have put, this probably isn't really necessary, but I like things done a certain way, so I'm just going to take this eyelet off carefully, and I will put it on the other way, because I like things done a certain way, so I like to have the screws facing out. It probably doesn't really matter, but you know, that's just me. So we just put our shock on. Now we need our 3mm nylock nut. We'll just hand thread it on, just so it doesn't cross thread. Okay, now tighten it up. Put it on. Make sure it's on camera so you can see. All right. So now we need a fairly long screw here. I think this is the one for it. Yes. So now it's the same procedure again with the suspension arm. We will put it on the middle hole here. Get our power tip, 2mm drive. And there you have it, folks. Our suspension arm and shocks are done. Sounds a bit like a bit of air in there. I might have to refix that. So this one. Oh, well, that's what happens when you leave it for 24 hours, I guess. I'll go over these shocks again. So that's all the suspension done. So now that'll be the end of this video. Next part, what we will be doing is we will be installing the motor guard, and a few other little miscellaneous parts. Stay tuned, guys.